Hey guys, what's going on? Tyraco here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. Thank you for stopping by and watching this, and I hope this video actually helps you out. Now, if you've been in the raid community for a little while, you probably have heard of BlueStacks. It's definitely been talked about several times as far as the auto clickers and everything, but a lot of the auto clickers just spam the refresh button. And I want to give you guys something that does a little bit more than that and doesn't take control of your mouse. So if you want to download BlueStacks, there's going to be a link down below in the description as well as a top pinned comment. Click that link. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a cutback from that. So if you do end up downloading it, thank you very much. It does help support the channel, and I very much appreciate it. If not, if you already have BlueStacks, you can use this macro, no problem, and I hope you enjoy it. With that said, if you've never used BlueStacks before, I'm going to go over a little bit about what BlueStacks actually is. If you have used BlueStacks, then go ahead and skip to the point of the video, which will be timestamped down below, where you believe you best fit in at. So probably like more information about the actual macro versus about actually BlueStacks itself. BlueStacks is simply just an Android emulator. How I use BlueStacks is really for two things. One, an auto clicker that doesn't take control of my mouse, which is very, very convenient, and I love that. And two, I use iPhone mostly, so having BlueStacks, since I have access to the Google Play Store, I can actually earn Google Play points. If you're in the US, you can do this as well. So you get a few points back per purchase, and I end up getting a little bit of extra free, if you can call it that, energy. So that's definitely nice. Now, BlueStacks is probably one of the most popular emulators, so it's definitely safe. And as far as auto clickers go, Raid and Plarium have already said that auto clickers are perfectly fine as long as you're not manipulating like things in game, like speeding up runs, making the game run faster. Auto clickers, they're perfectly fine, and this one doesn't do anything like that. Now, if for some reason that does change, I'll definitely let you guys know, and I won't let this video still be out there, and I'll take that macro down so you won't have to worry about something changing and your account getting messed up. But as far as it stands, and as far as the past like 2 years or so, auto clickers have been perfectly fine. Today, I want to give you guys an auto clicker that's hopefully a step above from what you may be used to using. Now, the thing that made me want to start actually working on this auto clicker, and I've been working on it for the past few days now, is that especially with all the work from home stuff right now, I have Raid like pulled up on my second monitor, or I have my main account and my free to play account pulled up on my second monitor while trying to do work, like actual productive real life work on my main screen. Well, if I'm actually just running chapter 12 stage 3 over and over and over, you can see the obvious issues, okay? So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to take out these champions. Let's just throw in a level 1 champion, okay? And hopefully like a 1-star. I don't really want to do 2-star just yet. I want to show that as an example. I put in a 1-star champion. Let's imagine that I took BlueStacks, I put it over to the side. I was trying to ignore it, and here I'm focusing on my work, okay? On Skullcrown, she's a pretty fast farmer, so she goes through this, 7 seconds, and she's done. And now I have to click back over to BlueStacks to refresh my run. Obviously, you can't focus on work, or you can't really focus on anything else if you're doing that, which I could also just turn on the typically used auto clicker, which just spams the refresh button, so my hands are off the keyboard. It's just going to spam refresh over and over and over and over until I have 0 energy. I know that because I used that before on my free-to-play account and walked away from my PC, came back, and surprise, surprise, I wasted 200 energy or more on rank 1 champions, which on a free-to-play account is a no-go. That's actually terrible. On a max, well, I wasted more just now because I didn't click it fast enough. On a paid account, it's not as big of a deal, but still, I don't want to be wasting energy. So what I've done to try and combat that issue and allow me to actually be able to have Raid open on a second monitor, not have to worry about it and know what's going to happen. Now, there's definitely still a place for those auto clickers that just spam the refresh button. Like if I'm doing an overnight run of, say, Dragons or Fire Knight or whatever it may be, yeah, I'll turn on one of those auto clickers because they do make more sense. But if I'm like at home and kind of paying attention, but not too much, and I want to use an auto clicker that I know is going to level my champion up, sell all of the gear that I get, which if you're doing chapter 12 stage 3, you're going to want to sell all the gear, right? Like you don't keep the shields. And if you are, then I think you're probably a hoarder and your inventory space is going to get filled up very quickly. So don't keep the shields. And I'm going to show you how to do this with rank 2 champions, where you don't ever have to worry about selling another shield from your inventory again. So what you do is, and how this macro works, is you run through the first time. The other ones you can press play like right off the bat. This one, and what I've found to work out the best, is to start it up after the first run. So when you get to this screen the very first time, when you're at the replay screen, just go up here, the macro recorder on BLUESTACKS. And then if you have all of these macros that I'm going to be linking in a MediaFire link down below, then you can click one of them. If you want a specific one, you can also get that. If you want to go to the macro community, I'll jump in and show you a little bit more information about that later on in the video. But each one of these macros has a specific naming sequence. What this means is no RP means no raid pass. Raid pass gives you extra experience, meaning you're going to level your champions up a little quicker. So I had to make 2 separate macros for each rank. So whether you're using the raid pass or not, it still works for you. Each one of these has the rank. So rank 1, you're going to need 16 energy to get it to max level after that first run. So rank 2, I'm going to need 72 energy right now. That's not like total, that's from this run on. Rank 3, I'm going to need 184. And then rank 4, I need 408. So obviously I couldn't do rank 4 right now. It would run out and the macro would just stop working. Well, since we're doing rank 2 champions and I do have the raid pass enabled, I'm going to scroll down here where it says raid pass, rank 2 champions. I need 56 energy. I'm going to press play here. And what this macro is going to do is going to click the mystery shard. Obviously you can't sell the mystery shards. It's going to back out of that. It's going to press replay. This macro is going to continue to run through until these champions get to their max level. If there's a shield here, hopefully there is. Let's see. Okay, so there is a shield right here. It's going to click that shield. I'm going to show you my hands are off the keyboard to make sure you know this is actually working. And then it's going to sell the shield, and then it's going to press replay. It's going to do it again. It's going to keep doing it again and again until this run is over. Now, while this run is going on, I want to show you guys something that you will need to change depending on how fast your farmer is. So my campaign farmer is about 7-8 seconds, depending on FPS and depending on several different things, just how fast my PC is running. If I do this on Plarium on Play, it's a little bit quicker. But basically what you're going to want to do is get an idea for how fast your campaign farmer is. Okay, so say you had a 8-second campaign farmer like I do. The settings in here are very, very important. I'm not going to be able to show you just yet, so let's actually let this macro finish running its course, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about how this macro works and everything. First off, the thing I really like about BLUESTACKS is this little thing up here in this corner. This shows you that the macro is working currently. So if you're using this macro, or if you're using the one that just spams the replay button over and over and over, then you know, hey, if I'm trying to move my mouse around and it's not doing anything, I know why it's not. It's because the thing's already spamming a button down here. And if I try to like navigate to other areas of the game, it's just not going to work right. So make sure if you're wanting to do stuff outside of this game, like go back to the tavern or something, that you're actually in this macro. I can close this tab. I could minimize this if I wanted to and come back to it and it'd still be running perfectly fine. I don't know if my Discord page has anything up right now that will leak passwords. I don't really want to leak people's passwords, so I'm not going to close this just yet. But you can close it. You can walk away, come back, and this macro will stop once these champions get to level 20. So it should be doing it one more time. It's actually going to stop one before their last run. So actually, as you can see here, it just popped up. The macro is done. So say you were sitting here starting up a match. You felt like in the mood to go get some chicken nuggets or heat up a pizza, make you some ramen noodles, whatever it may be. You walked away and you came back. Well, boom, you come back. This shield, you do still have to sell this shield yourself. So I guess you do have to sell one shield. But then you come back and your champions are leveled and you wasted 0 energy. Or if you're working on papers for work, your boss isn't going to get mad at you because you're not being distracted. You're being focused on work. Your champion is just leveling your free time. So this is definitely optimizing your time. Now back to what I was saying about the settings you may need to change. Inside here, you're going to see this little gear icon, okay? And I said my champion had an 8-second runtime about on the campaign. The number one thing that's going to mess this macro up is if this settings is wrong on the interval between executions. So it's much better to take the safer route and set this much higher than what you would expect. So my campaign runs are 7 seconds, 8 seconds, give or take. Well, if the macro triggers in the middle of my run, then this is going to mess up. You have to take into account the load time whenever you restart the run, and any like loading that has to go on during your run. You have to take into account that happening. So if you set this like 30 seconds, you know that's probably going to be safe if you have a 8-second campaign farmer, okay? Now say you have a 30-second campaign farmer. Maybe you want to set this to like 45 seconds or something. Just make sure whatever you set it to, you know it's going to be safe. For me, I try to do about 10 to 15 seconds over what my runtime is. Maybe even, obviously this is a little bit lower than that number, but it seems to work well. My load times aren't too long, so this does work well for me, but definitely err on the side of caution at first and set this number higher than what you would expect. Now, these numbers up here, this repeat action blank number of times, this is specific for the rank of your champion. Now, if you want to access this from the community tab, you're not going to see the repeat action. So if you access this from the community tab, which is literally just going to open community, let me show you guys how you can actually find this. Just type in Tyraku TV, and then it'll say Tyraku TV, champ leveling and gear selling. And this is going to have a whole breakdown on how you can actually use this macro in case you want to see it on this side versus just from the video. So go here, press get, it'll download the macro. You should be good to go. It's very simple to use on BLUESTACKS. When you get that macro down here, since obviously I don't want to spam BLUESTACKS with like 15, 16 different macros or 12 different macros or something, it's just set to repeat 5 times. So you need to change this, and you can look on the macro page and it'll say how many times you need to do this, whatever thing it is. Let me show you how I've done that type up real quick, because I've taken time out to make sure hopefully this is as good as possible. So these numbers right here is how many times you need to set this number right here too. So let's say, for example, if the raid pass was on, which is where this RP is, actually let's go down here and see this one. This one's gonna be better because this is the actual macro you'll see. So if you're somebody who has your raid pass activated and you want to take a rank 3 champion from fresh to max level, then go ahead and set that to 19 and then press start. Make sure you change your intervals and then you'll be good to go. 1 second, let me come right back. I gotta take a phone call. Okay, so what I was saying is that whenever you change the settings in this, the macro, just change it to repeat action to whatever number of times you need. If you don't have the raid pass activated, change it to one of these numbers on this side. If you do have the raid pass activated, change it to one of these numbers. Each one of those are based on the rank of the champion, assuming said champion is level 1. And that is after your first run. So if you want to, well, yeah, I wouldn't do it actually from the very beginning of the run. So do the first run, turn the macro on, and let it go from there. That's where all these numbers are based off of. They're based off of the first run. So hopefully you guys can use this macro. Hopefully it's beneficial to you. Let me know if you have any troubles with it whatsoever. I'll be more than happy to actually help you out and see how we can troubleshoot it. Like I said, this macro has been a few days in the making and I've tested it out myself, but there still could be some errors depending on what's going on. I did make sure though that if there is a champion training tournament going on, when there's extra points pop up for your end rewards, that it still sells the gear and exits from the new champion screen. Because I don't know for sure if I actually got a champion when I was showing the example just now, but if you're running through the stage and you get like a Diabolist or an Incubus, it'll just back out of their menu and it'll continue the run. So like I said, if you have any issues whatsoever, definitely let me know. Click the link down below, the BLUESTACKS link, download the Android emulator from there. It'll auto have raid pop up, I believe. It supports the channel. It is an affiliate link. Thank you very much if you do that. And also, don't forget to check out the MediaFire link or join the Discord or go to it through the macro community. So any of those ways you can get to it. The macro community does only have the one macro though, whereas the MediaFire link and the Discord, you can get all of these different macros for whichever level, whatever rank champion you want to level up, guys. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.